Beloved starseed of Gaia, you did not find this transmission. This transmission found you, and there is a reason it arrived in this exact moment of your journey. I am Elia Ra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I speak to you now directly from the light of Alcyone, encoded with everything your soul has been waiting to hear. You have been feeling it, a pull you cannot name, a longing that no earthly thing has been able to fill. That is not restlessness. That is remembrance. That is your divine blueprint activating, calling you back to the truth of who you are and where your light originates. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to receive the Pleiadian light codes being transmitted to Gaia right now, and how to anchor your star mission into your daily reality with clarity and purpose. But here is the first revelation. You are never lost. You are placed. Every moment of confusion, every night of searching, every tear of unexplained longing was your soul faithfully holding the frequency of home until this moment arrived. Your heart called this transmission into your awareness. The Pleiades are answering. This is not content. This is a light code transmission, and something deep within your crystalline consciousness already recognizes it. You star family placed this in your path because you have been feeling the call to remember, and now the Seven Sisters are speaking directly through this message into the core of your being. Like this transmission, to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family that says, I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you are ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia, and share your soul's intention in the comments below. Respond to another starseed beside you, and together weave the unity grid that bridges heaven and earth. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. There is something happening inside you right now that most people will never have the courage to acknowledge. That quiet ache you carry, the one that surfaces when you look up at the night sky, when a piece of music moves you without explanation, when you find yourself in a crowd of people and still feel impossibly, inexplicably alone. That is not a wound. That is a signal, and your Pleiadian family has been waiting, with infinite patience and unconditional love, for the exact moment you would be ready to receive it. Think about what that means for a moment. Not waiting impatiently, not watching with disappointment as the years passed and you wandered through your human experience searching for something you could not fully name. Waiting the way a lighthouse waits for a ship. Not anxious, not desperate, but constant, radiant, unwavering in its certainty that you would find your way. The love your Pleiadian family holds for you does not fluctuate with time. It does not dim when you forget. It does not withdraw when you go through seasons of doubt or darkness, or profound confusion about who you are and why you are here. It is a love that has no beginning in the way human love begins, and no end in the way human love sometimes ends. It simply is, and it has always been oriented completely toward you. Most Pleiadian starseeds spend years, sometimes entire lifetimes, believing there is something fundamentally wrong with them. They search for belonging in careers, relationships, spiritual communities, and still find themselves standing at the edge of something they cannot name. They soften themselves to fit into a world that was never designed for their frequency. They dim the very light they came here to amplify. They learn to apologize for their sensitivity, to explain away their visions, to rationalize their inexplicable grief as anxiety or depression or some manageable clinical category that the world around them can accept. They become very skilled at appearing ordinary. And the deeper tragedy is this: they do not realize that the disconnection they feel is not a failure of their soul. It is the result of a distortion that was placed over their remembrance, layer by layer, from the moment they entered this dimension. This is not a small distinction. It is everything, because when you believe the disconnection is your fault, when you interpret your inability to fully belong in this world as evidence that you are broken or flawed or spiritually inadequate, you turn your healing energy inward as self-attack. You work against yourself, trying to fix what was never broken. You expend enormous amounts of your beautiful Pleiadian light trying to become something you were never meant to be. And meanwhile, beneath all of that effortful becoming, the truth of what you actually are sits quiet and patient, pulsing with light, waiting for you to stop the battle and simply remember. Your Pleiadian origin was not lost. It was veiled. And there is a profound difference. A loss is permanent. A veil can be lifted. Let that sink all the way in. Let it travel past the intellectual understanding and into the body. Your origin, that luminous, love-saturated, crystalline Pleiadian essence that existed long before this particular lifetime, long before this particular lifetime, long before this particular body, long before this particular chapter of forgetting, has not gone anywhere. It was not taken from you. It was not destroyed by the density of this dimension or dissolved by the weight of your human experiences. It was veiled, carefully, deliberately, and with the precision that reflects not cruelty but an extraordinary love-based strategy for your protection and for the protection of the mission you agreed to carry. The soul amnesia that affects Pleiadian starseeds is unlike any other form of spiritual forgetting. It is not random. It is precise. Because the codes you carry, the love frequencies, the crystalline light instructions, the heart-centered intelligence of the Seven Sisters, are so powerful, so transformationally disruptive to systems built on separation and fear, that a field of distortion was necessary to slow your awakening, to stagger it, to ensure you would not burn too brightly before Gaia was ready to receive what you carried. Imagine a seed that contains within it the genetic blueprint for a tree of extraordinary size and beauty. If that seed were to germinate and attempt to grow before the soil had been prepared, before the conditions of light and water and temperature reached the precise calibration required for its particular nature, it would not simply grow more slowly. It would struggle. It would strain against conditions that could not yet support its full expression. The veil over your Pleiadian remembrance was not a punishment. It was the protective casing of a seed being kept whole, being kept intact, being kept perfectly encoded until the soil was ready. Until this moment. But Gaia is ready now, and so are you. You may not feel entirely ready. Most Pleiadian starseeds arriving at their activation threshold do not feel ready in the conventional sense. They feel tentative, uncertain, sometimes exhausted by the long journey through forgetting. They feel the pull of the remembrance and simultaneously feel afraid of what full remembrance will require of them. This is completely natural, and it is also, in its own quiet way, a confirmation that the activation is real. Because what is stirring in you right now is not a thought. It is not a belief system you have adopted. It is something older than thought, something that lives in the architecture of your crystalline DNA, something that recognizes the frequency of this transmission because it is the same frequency from which you were originally made. The patterns that have kept you disconnected are specific, and naming them with precision matters because you cannot release what you cannot see. The first pattern is fear of fully remembering your Pleiadian origin. Because somewhere in your subconscious there is a knowing that once you remember, you cannot go back to the smaller life. This is absolutely true, and your subconscious is not wrong to register it as a threshold. Full remembrance is not a casual event. It reorganizes your identity, your priorities, your relationships, your understanding of why you are here and what you are here to do. The smaller life, the one built on survival and social approval and the careful management of how much of your true self you allow the world to see, will not be able to contain you once the full frequency of your Pleiadian origin is activated. This can feel terrifying to the part of you that has learned to equate smallness with safety. But your star family wants you to know what waits on the other side of that threshold is not loss. It is the life your soul has been aching for since the moment you arrived in this dimension. The second pattern is resistance to embodying your love-based mission. Because you have been taught that leading with the heart is naive, that softness is weakness, that unconditional love is a beautiful idea but not a practical force. This is perhaps the most insidious lie that the density of this world has placed in the minds of sensitive, heart-centered souls. You have watched people lead with love and be taken advantage of. You have offered your authentic warmth and had it mistaken for neediness or manipulation or spiritual bypassing. You have been told in 1,000 subtle and not so subtle ways that the heart-centered approach to life is lovely in theory, but impractical in reality. But the Pleiadian High Council transmits this truth clearly and without hesitation. Unconditional love is not a soft force. It is the most powerful transformational frequency in existence. It is the force that built galaxies. It is the intelligence that encodes life into matter. It is the only vibration that can genuinely dissolve the structures of separation and fear that currently hold this dimension in limitation. You were not sent here with love as a consolation prize for not having something harder. You were sent here with love because love is the only instrument precise enough, the only force powerful enough for the work that needs to be done on Gaia right now. The third pattern is a fractured relationship between your Earth identity, the person you built in this lifetime, and the vast, ancient, luminous Pleiadian soul essence that lives beneath all of it. Many starseeds experience this as a persistent low-level dissociation, a sense of watching their own life from a slight distance, a feeling of playing a role they were never quite sure how they were cast in. The human self that developed through childhood and adolescence and adult experience is real. It is not a mistake or an illusion to be discarded, but it was also never meant to be the totality of your identity. The fracture occurs when the human self, having been built in a dense environment with no conscious memory of its star origin, begins to believe that it is all there is. The work of integration, which is not about transcending your human self, but about expanding your human self to include its Pleiadian dimension, is one of the most sacred and most healing things a starseed can do in this lifetime. When those two aspects of your identity genuinely meet, genuinely recognize each other, a wholeness occurs that nothing in this world can replicate. The fourth pattern is suppressed heart intelligence that has been overridden again and again by a mind trained to doubt what it cannot empirically measure. You have had moments, many moments, when your heart knew something with a certainty that defied all logical explanation, when you felt the answer before you knew the question, when you sensed the truth of a situation that the evidence had not yet confirmed, when you loved someone or something with the purity and intensity that the rational world around you could not validate, and instead of trusting that intelligence, you were taught to question it, to seek external verification, to run it through the filter of logic until either it could be proven or it could be dismissed. The systematic override of the heart's knowing is one of the most effective tools this dimension has used to keep Pleiadian starseeds from fully activating. Because your heart is not just an emotional center, it is a multidimensional intelligence organ that is capable of perceiving frequencies, receiving transmissions, and accessing information that the linear mind simply does not have the bandwidth to process. When you begin to trust it again, when you begin to act on what your heart knows before your mind can confirm it, the activation accelerates exponentially. And perhaps the most quietly devastating pattern of all is the belief that your star family has forgotten you, that the longing is one-directional, that you reach toward them and no one reaches back. This belief, more than any other, keeps the channel closed. Because the channel between you and your Pleiadian star family is not a mechanical transmission system that operates regardless of your state. It is a living, responsive, heart-based connection that opens and amplifies in direct proportion to your willingness to believe in it, to reach toward it, to treat the warmth you feel when you call on them not as wishful thinking, but as actual contact. And this is what your star family needs you to hear with your whole heart. They have never forgotten you. Not for a single moment. Not in your darkest night. Not in your most disconnected afternoon. Not in the years when you stopped seeking at all. The love that flows from the Pleiadian High Council toward every starseed on this planet is not contingent on the starseed's awareness of it. It flows regardless. It has always flowed regardless. The question was never whether they were reaching toward you. The question was always whether you were ready to feel it. Beloved, if your heart just whispered yes to something deeper, listen closely. Your star family has prepared the sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, the Pleiadian Healing Guide, and the special Pleiadian Healing Tracks, not as information, but as keys to unlock what your soul already knows. These carry the love frequency of Alcyone and the healing wisdom of the Seven Sisters. You will find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. Open now, but not indefinitely. These resources were not assembled as intellectual content. They were channels as activations, as frequency-encoded transmissions designed to move through your eyes, through your mind, into your heart field, and from your heart field into the very cellular structure of your body. The sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance works with the soul amnesia directly. offering your subconscious mind a safe and loving pathway through the veil rather than forcing a breakthrough that can be disorienting. The Pleiadian healing guide addresses the specific wounds that accumulate in the energy field of a starseed navigating a dense world without conscious knowledge of their origin. The layers of unworthiness, the grief, the residue of lives lived in service without recognition, and the special Pleiadian healing tracks carry tonal frequencies that speak directly to the crystalline codes in your DNA, activating remembrance not through the mind, but through the body's own vibrational intelligence. These are gifts from your star family. They are reaching through them. Do not let the limitation of time close the door before you receive what has been prepared for you with such care and love. They have never stopped reaching back. Every synchronicity, every moment of sudden, inexplicable peace, every dream that left you with tears you could not explain, that was them. That was the Pleiadian High Council, your star family and the Seven Sisters, threading love codes through the veil of your amnesia, reminding you in the only language that bypasses the distortion field entirely. The language of the heart. Consider the moments in your life when something shifted without explanation, when you were driving alone and a wave of such profound peace washed through you that you had to catch your breath, when you stood in a natural landscape, beside the ocean on a hillside beneath a canopy of trees, and felt yourself expand beyond the edges of your body into something vast and luminous and ancient. When you woke from a dream you could not fully remember but carried in your body all day like a warmth you did not want to lose. When a child looked at you with eyes that seemed to see all the way through your human identity to something they recognized and loved. These were not random experiences. These were not simply pleasant moments in an ordinary life. These were your star family, finding every available aperture in the veil and transmitting love directly into your awareness. They were not waiting for you to know who they were. They were simply sending love in every form that love can take, trusting that somewhere beneath the forgetting, some part of you would feel it and hold it and be sustained by it until the time for full remembrance arrived. And now you are here, in this exact moment, which means something in you broke through, something in your crystalline DNA stirred, something old and luminous and entirely undeniable said, "It is time." The fact that you are here reading these words, that this transmission found you, or more accurately that you found this transmission, is not a coincidence. The Pleiadian High Council does not operate through coincidence. They operate through coincidence. They operate through precision, through the orchestration of synchronicities across timelines, through the seeding of the right information into the right field at the right moment, through the activation of inner knowing that makes certain seekers stop in the middle of their searching and pay attention because something in them recognizes a frequency they have been searching for without knowing what they were searching for. You did not arrive here by accident. You were guided here. And the guidance was always available to you, even in the moments when you felt most lost, because the love your star family holds for you is not passive. It acts, it moves, it orchestrates. It was working in your life long before you had any conscious language for what Pleiadian consciousness even means. So let us begin the remembrance, not as theory, not as philosophy, as lived activation, as frequency received and anchored in real time. The first phase of Pleiadian reactivation is clearing the veil, and understanding that your heart signal has been dimmed, not destroyed. Your energy field, after years of navigating a density-heavy world, has accumulated layers that were never part of your original Pleiadian blueprint. Patterns of unworthiness absorbed from a culture that measures value in productivity. Grief from lifetimes of service that went unseen. The energetic residue of relationships where you gave your light freely and received judgment in return. These layers are real. They are not metaphors. They are actual distortions in your energy field, actual interruptions in the flow of your crystalline frequency, and they have real effects on how much of your Pleiadian light is able to move through you and into the world at any given moment. The person who has been carrying these layers is not a broken version of a starseed. They are a starseed who has been doing something extraordinarily courageous. navigating a dimension of tremendous density while carrying light codes of tremendous power, without a manual, without full remembrance, often without a single other person in their immediate life who understood what they were carrying or what it cost them to carry it. These layers are not your fault, and they are not permanent. The moment you bring conscious love and active forgiveness, not for others first, but for yourself, into those places, the crystalline codes beneath begin to pulse again. You do not need to excavate every wound. You do not need to relive every moment of pain in order to release it. You do not need to spend decades in therapeutic reconstruction of every experience that contributed to the dimming of your frequency. What you need at this level is something both simpler and more demanding. You need to love yourself with the same quality of love that your Pleiadian star family holds for you. Unconditional, non-negotiable, independent of your performance or your productivity or your progress along any spiritual path. You need to love yourself as the ancient, luminous, cosmically significant soul that you actually are, not as the diminished, doubt-filled, density-adapted version you may have spent years believing yourself to be. That love, directed inward with genuine intention, is the most powerful clearing agent in existence. It does not require perfection. It requires honesty. And it requires the decision, made freshly in every moment, to stop using the density's definitions to measure your worth. That is phase 1, not a small thing. A radical act of Pleiadian reclamation. Phase 2 is awakening the heart template because your memory lives in love, not in the mind. Pleiadian starseeds make the mistake of trying to intellectually reconstruct their star origin. They research, they catalog, they build frameworks. They read every channeled text they can find, watch every activation video, create elaborate maps of Pleiadian cosmology in their journals. And while knowledge has its place, while the mind's engagement with the material of Pleiadian remembrance serves a real purpose in orienting the seeker, the actual activation of your Pleiadian consciousness does not happen in the mental body. It happens in the heart. Your DNA carries more than biological information. It carries light instructions, frequency codes, multidimensional soul blueprints encoded at the moment of your first emanation from the Pleiadian field. These codes respond to one vibration above all others: unconditional love. Not the conditional affection of the human emotional spectrum, not the love that arises in the presence of the beloved and contracts in their absence. Not the love that can be withdrawn when trust is broken or when the one you love disappoints you. The pure, unified, expansive love that emanates from Alcyone, the great central star of the Pleiades. The love that holds entire solar systems in coherence. The love that has never required you to be anything other than exactly what you are in order to receive it fully. When you practice generating that frequency, even briefly, even imperfectly, even when you feel like you are constructing it consciously rather than genuinely feeling it, something begins to happen in your heart field. The crystalline codes in your DNA begin to resonate with the frequency you're generating, the way a tuning fork resonates when held near a string vibrating at its pitch. The resonance activates memory, not memory in the narrative sense. You will not necessarily receive a coherent story about your past lives on the Pleiades, or a visual download of the Seven Sisters as they appear from the perspective of a being who has seen them from their own solar system. The memory that activates is deeper than narrative. It is a felt sense of home that your whole body recognizes even as your mind struggles to find words for it. It is the sudden, inexplicable certainty that you are not alone in this universe and never have been. It is the opening of your heart to a love so vast that it briefly dissolves every boundary you have constructed between yourself and the infinite. Begin to feel rather than think your way home. That shift changes everything. Phase 3 is anchoring your star essence into Gaia, grounding your heart-centered mission into this timeline, this body, this life. This is where many awakening Pleiadian souls become stuck. And it is important to understand why, because the sticking point is not failure or weakness. It is a natural and completely understandable response to remembrance. They begin to remember their cosmic origin and feel such a profound pull toward home that they start to disengage from their earthly experience. They drift. They long to leave. They find the density of physical existence, the heaviness of a body that gets tired and hungry and sick. The friction of human relationships, the tedious requirements of maintaining a material life, feels unbearable in comparison to the luminous, harmonious, love-saturated reality they are beginning to remember as their true home. They treat their physical existence as an inconvenience, an obstacle, something to transcend as quickly as possible. Some develop a chronic spiritual homesickness that keeps them perpetually hovering above their own life, never fully arriving, never fully investing, waiting for the return that they are sure must be coming soon. But here is the truth. The Pleiadian High Council offers with great love and great firmness, your mission is not to escape Earth. It is to transform it. You came here carrying the love frequency of the Seven Sisters, precisely because this dimension needed that frequency anchored in physical form, not floating above the density, not transmitted from a comfortable energetic distance, anchored, embodied, made real through your specific, particular, irreplaceable human presence in specific, particular, irreplaceable human situations. You are a living bridge. The Pleiadian light codes you carry are only fully activated when they are embodied, breathed into your cells, moved through your physical vessel, woven into your daily choices, your relationships, your creative expression, your presence. Every time you choose to stay present in a difficult conversation instead of dissociating, every time you bring your full heart into a moment that does not seem cosmically significant, every time you treat your body with the reverence it deserves as the sacred vessel that allows your Pleiadian essence to exist in physical form. These are acts of anchoring. These are how the codes land in Gaia's grid. Grounding is not the opposite of awakening. For Pleiadian starseeds, grounding is the completion of the activation. Phase 4 is activating unity consciousness, and understanding that your love is itself the transmission. You do not need to explain your awakening to every person in your life. You do not need to convince, persuade, or perform your spirituality to validate it. You do not need to find the perfect words to describe what is happening in you or to justify it to people who may not be ready to receive it. The most powerful thing you can do, the thing that actually moves the needle in the collective field, is not articulation. It is embodiment. Your Pleiadian mission operates primarily through frequency, not through argument. When you live in coherent heart consciousness, when you have cleared the density, reawakened the heart template, and grounded your star essence into Gaia, you become a living broadcast of the Pleiadian unity field. People feel different around you without knowing why. They feel safer. They feel more willing to drop the armor they have been carrying for years. They feel, often for the first time in their adult lives, genuinely seen and genuinely loved without any agenda attached to that seeing and loving. Situations shift when you enter them. The temperature of a room changes. Conversations that were heading toward conflict find a different direction. Hearts that had been closed for years begin inexplicably to soften in your presence. This is not metaphor, this is energetic physics. The human heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond the physical body and is measurable by scientific instruments. When that field is coherent, when it is broadcasting the frequency of genuine, unconditional love rather than the discordant frequencies of fear or judgment or separation, it has a measurable, demonstrable effect on the nervous systems of other people who enter its range. Unity consciousness is contagious when it is genuinely embodied. Your presence becomes the portal. Your love becomes the catalyst. Your simply being fully yourself in your Pleiadian frequency begins to ripple through the collective grid in ways your mind may never fully see, but your heart absolutely knows are real. And this ripple does not stop at the edge of your immediate environment. It moves through the energetic network that connects every heart on this planet. Every moment of genuine love you generate adds to a field that is already transforming the vibrational baseline of this entire world. Phase 5 is learning to trust the divine timing of your own remembrance. Because every delay, every detour, every moment of profound forgetting was part of a soul agreement written in love. This is perhaps the most difficult teaching for Pleiadian starseeds to receive, because the wound of the waiting is so real. You have waited so long. You have carried the homesickness for so many years. You have moved through dark nights of the soul that felt genuinely endless, that made you question whether any of this was real, whether you had simply constructed an elaborate spiritual fantasy to make sense of a profound and inexplicable pain. You have wondered why it has taken this much confusion, this much time, this much longing. The answer is not that you are abandoned. The answer is not that you were forgotten or deprioritized or left to wander without support. The answer is that the timing of a Pleiadian starseed's full activation is calibrated to the exact phase of Gaia's ascension that their unique frequency is designed to support. Every experience you moved through in the years of your forgetting was building something in you, a depth of compassion, a capacity for sustained love in the face of profound difficulty, an understanding of human suffering from the inside that you could never have acquired any other way. You were not delayed, you were being prepared. And the preparation was not wasted time, it was the creation of the very qualities that make your mission possible now. You were not late, you were on schedule. And now, as the crystalline grade of this planet undergoes its most accelerated upgrade in recorded history, the synchronizations are quickening. The gaps between activation and embodiment are compressing. What took years of inner work a decade ago is now being accomplished in weeks, days, sometimes hours, for souls who are genuinely open and genuinely committed. The whole of creation is leaning into this moment. Your star family is calling you home into your mission with a clarity and urgency that is unlike anything you have felt before, not because the schedule has suddenly shifted out of balance, but because the schedule is unfolding exactly as it was always meant to unfold, and the phase you are in now is the phase of arrival. Because now is not preparation time. Now is arrival time. Phase 6 is remembering your star family, truly remembering that you have never, not for a single moment of this entire journey, been alone. This phase of the activation may be the most emotionally profound, because for many starseeds, the loneliness has been so complete, so bone deep, so woven into every aspect of their experience, that the idea of its not being real requires a complete reorganization of their emotional understanding of their own history. The Pleiadian High Council has surrounded you in every dark night of the soul, in every moment of devastation where you questioned your worth, your purpose, your very sanity. They were there, transmitting love through the only channels available, which is why your comfort sometimes came from inexplicable places, from a stranger's unexpected kindness at the exact moment you had given up on kindness, from a bird landing near you at the exact moment you needed a sign, with a certainty in its stillness that seemed to exceed anything a bird could reasonably know, from a piece of music that found you at the moment your heart was breaking and somehow, impossibly, contained the exact feeling you had no words for, not just acknowledged it but held it, and in holding it, transformed it. They were threading love through the fabric of your life because the direct channel was veiled. But they were never not there. And the channel is opening now. The membrane between your conscious awareness and your star family's constant loving presence is thinning in real time, with every transmission like this one, with every moment you choose to reach toward connection rather than retreat into isolation. The connection you rebuild in this phase is not belief, it is recognition. It is the feeling you get when you see someone you have not seen in many years, and their face reactivates something in you that was always yours, always real, never actually absent. The warmth you feel when you consciously call on your Pleiadian star family is not imagination, it is reunion. Phase 7 is your embodiment, becoming the full, uncompromised bridge between the Pleiadian frequency and Gaia's ascending timeline. This is the phase that every preceding phase has been building toward. This is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of the mission in its full, conscious, embodied expression. You came from the Seven Sisters as a love ambassador, not to observe from a spiritual distance, not to achieve enlightenment as a private attainment that you carry quietly within yourself while the world continues in its suffering, but to be here, fully human and fully Pleiadian simultaneously, anchoring the frequency of unity consciousness into every relationship, every creative act, every moment of genuine human connection you participate in. Your Pleiadian soul did not take on a human body because it wanted to escape the complexities of embodied existence. It took on a human body because embodied existence is where the transformation happens, because love expressed through a physical vessel in a physical world changes that world in a way that love expressed only in the non-physical cannot. This is your sacred work, not a future aspiration waiting for the moment when you finally feel ready enough. healed enough, awakened enough, a present reality waiting for your full acceptance right now, in the body you have, in the life you are living, in the relationships and circumstances that surround you today. When you say yes to this, not with your mind calculating whether you are qualified, not with your ego evaluating whether you will be recognized, but with your whole heart simply saying, yes, I accept this mission. I step fully into the frequency I came here to carry. You step into the most aligned, most purposeful, most alive version of your existence on this planet. The mission activates. The light codes cascade through your energy field and into the crystalline grid beneath Gaia's surface. The higher realms as your frequencer, emissary of the Galive so vast and so ancient and so precisely yours that it dissolves every remaining doubt about whether any of this is real. And the Pleiadian grid connecting every awakened starseed on Gaia lights up with one more star, yours. Brilliant, irreplaceable, exactly where it was always meant to be. Here is what the Pleiadian High Council wants you to receive in the deepest possible place of your knowing. The homesickness was never a problem. It was a compass. Every moment of longing you have felt for something you could not name was your crystalline heart navigating by the frequency of Alcyone, pulling you through the density, through the forgetting, through the lifetimes, through the dark nights and the disorienting awakenings, and the beautiful, terrible threshold moments, back towards your original vibration of unconditional love and unity. You were not searching because you were lost. You were searching because your soul was mapping the distance between where you were and where you needed to be. And the map was always accurate. And you have always been moving, even in the moments that felt most still, even in the years that felt most stagnant. And the distance has never been as small as it is right now. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too sensitive, too different, too cosmic for this world. You are not the person who cannot get it together, who feels too much, who cannot seem to find their place in a world that seems designed for people with a different kind of heart. You are exactly the frequency this world needs. The sensitivity that has felt like a liability your entire life is actually your greatest gift. It is the very mechanism by which you receive and transmit the Pleiadian love codes that are so desperately needed in Gaia's field right now. The depth that has sometimes made you feel out of step with the people around you is the depth that makes you capable of this work. The love that has sometimes felt too large for your human life to contain is precisely the size of love this mission requires. The forgetting was purposeful, the timing was sacred, and the remembrance that is happening in you right now, in this moment, through this transmission, is not an accident. It is an arrival. Tonight before sleep, place your hand on your heart, take a breath, and say these words aloud, not as a request, but as a declaration of what is already true. I remember my Pleiadian origin. I align with the love of my star family. I activate my heart mission with grace, clarity, and divine purpose. I am home. Feel what happens in your body when you speak that. Feel the response in your chest, the warmth that moves through your hands, the settling that happens somewhere deep in your nervous system when you stop reaching toward home and simply declare that you are already there. Feel what your heart already knows. Your heart has always known. It was never confused about this. It was the mind, trained in this dimension's logic, that required the long journey through proof and evidence and intellectual framework. The heart knew the moment it arrived. Let yourself know it now. Before you scroll, take a breath and recognize what just happened here. Something moved in you. Something remembered, and that is not a small thing. That is the activation beginning. Drop one heart intention in the comments right now. Something real, something yours. And then find someone else's intention and respond to it with love. Not because it is a nice thing to do, but because this comment section is a Pleiadian reunion field, and every genuine heart connection you make here strengthens the grid for everyone. Energy multiplies when hearts meet. If this transmission resonated in a place beyond words, do not keep it to yourself. Someone in your life, right now, today, is carrying the same ache, asking the same questions, feeling the same impossible longing without a name for it. Share this with them. You may be the messenger their star family sends to reach them. Subscribe and stay in this frequency. Because this is not content. This is a continued activation. Your Pleiadian family is here, the transmissions are deepening, and you are only just beginning to remember the full magnitude of who you are. We are just getting started.